Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Black Desert Online. Today we are going to take a look at the character creator for Black Desert Online. I've already previously done videos for the Warrior and the Berserker and the Wizard class. Those were the male classes that were available in the game, and those were classes that personally I could see playing. I don't particularly see playing any of the female classes because I don't typically, especially at a game like this that is so detailed and probably in depth and so in depth and immersive, I don't really see myself playing a female role. But these are going to be the characters that are going to be available in the next CBT, which is going to actually start on February 18th. If you would like to download Black Desert Online's the character creator, they have released it as a standalone, so go to their website and it'll be there for you to play around with. The great part about the character creator is that it's going to give you plenty of time in order to play with any characters that you want to create, as you do have the ability to import and export character designs. So that means more than likely when Black Desert Online actually launches, probably we're looking at, I guess, with the next CBT happening in February 18th, and name reservations beginning in the early part of February, like the second week of February, we're probably looking at a launch date of probably I don't know, early March to mid-March or whatever. So which is gonna kill my Blade and Soul series because I'm not doing, I probably can just see playing Black Desert and Guild Wars 2. But so what we're gonna do is we're gonna look at a female character. Now these are gonna be the characters that are gonna be in the CBT. Now there are two other characters that are also available that are not going to be available on initial launch right now at this time, and it's the Koinichi, I think it is, and the Blader. So we're not going to have those two classes, and unfortunately those are two classes I am most interested in. I can see playing the Warrior, but it's definitely outside of the realm of what I normally play because it is a sword and board class, and I don't really like to hide behind a shield. I like evasion and movement. The Berserker is kind of open and out there, but not really focused on evasion so much as I'm just going to tank and take damage, which isn't typically what I like to do myself. I like to DPS and move, DPS and move, DPS and move. And my only problem with the Wizard is that the Wizard is very old, ugly looking, and trying to create a younger non-Gandalf looking wizard and stuff like that, it doesn't seem like you're going to be able to create a 20-something wizard. I think, like in my video that I already posted, it's probably going to be something like 40s or whatever. But let's take a look at one of the other classes that's inside, some of the female classes. Now we're going to start the game. The game's going to launch with 5 female character options. That pisses me off. It pisses me off because I'm like, yo, can we get a fucking turn off for the male characters? We have a female ranger, so we have hiding damage. We have a tamer, who is pretty much your pet class, because your tamer, I believe, contain like animals in the wild and so forth like that. I don't think that there is a alternative to her at the moment. Then we have the Sorceress. The Sorceress had the coolest combat play that I saw. We have the Valkyrie, who is pretty much your alternative to the male warrior. And then we had the Witch, who is pretty much your alternative to the Wizard. So in my opinion, I would think that the two classes that stand out the most right now don't have their alternatives. I would probably say the Sorceress is the alternative to the Berserker, and I would say that the Ranger is the alternative to the Ranger and the Tamer are probably two classes that stand outside. The reason why I say that the Sorceress is the alternative to Berserker is because her magic, it's a little bit different than your Wizard and Witch, where they're kiting damage and so forth. Like your Sorceress can almost change the battle from, she's operating from close to mid-range. So like if you look on the bottom screen there, you can see Sorceress can officially control the battlefield with their melee and ranged dark magics. They lure enemies with ranged magics, then lead the drawn victims into chaos and painful demise. Other races refer and fear these sorceresses as witches on the battlefield, and I would have to agree with this. Like, from watching the gameplay footage of it, if I was going to play a female character, this is probably the only one that I would exactly like, would like to play. They are definitely honed in on mid to close to mid-range combat, and they're really great for kiting and pulling. So let's take a look at the female. Let's take a look at the female sorceress. I'm really interested in that character class the most, so let's do that. So you can see it's got pre-order event and so forth like that going on and everything, so you can do that. Let's see what we're gonna take a look at here. I love this character creation model. So like the character creator in here is just it is balls nasty. I love it. It's really good. So let's see what we're gonna do here. All right, so constellations, immediately when they pull up, we have a number of different constellations, and you can see them on the side right here. They have different abilities and effects to them as well that I don't think they're listed here. So like you can see that the boats, the shield, these are different constellations that we're gonna have to look more. I'm gonna look more in depth to, and in my next video I'll probably explain these constellations more, because I do remember that they do have abilities to them. I can't remember what values they have assigned to them, but there's something that we're gonna want there. So like I think they have percentages and stuff like that that are assigned to them. I can't remember exactly what they are right now. So let's say we're gonna create our female character, and I'm gonna try to base her off of more of like Charlize Theron. That's what I want to base her on. I want to base her after a character like that. So let's say like Charlize Theron's character. I think Maleficent was Angelina Jolie, and then Charlize Theron was the Huntsman. Yeah, and they got a Huntsman 2 coming out. So let's see where we're gonna go. I'm gonna go with Black Dragon. Well-famed, noble, delicate, sensitive, and sociable. I'm pretty sure a lot of people are gonna go with that. And then you have the ability over here to look at weather effects and how they change your character's looks, which it actually does happen. To be perfectly honest with you guys, it actually does. You'll play the game and you'll notice that as weather patterns change and so forth, the texturing and things like that of your clothing, the coloring and stuff like that on your clothing, it looks different. Very, very different. Let's take a look at character actions. So we have different positions that we have in a character. Let's see what we have. Ooh, she's sexy. She said, I'm killing them. Look at her. She's like, bitch, I got you in the palm of my hand. Y'all motherfuckers want me. Strike a pose. Model shit. Ah, fuck you Negroes. I don't want you. I don't like you. I don't want to be about you. Ah, y'all making me so tired. You hoes don't know. Bitch, please. Oh, y'all motherfuckers thirsty. That's that pose right here to me. You so thirsty. No fool. Bye, Felicia. That's what that is. Hey girl, how you doing? Oh, this bitch thinks she funny. Oh, good one. You thought you had a friend, didn't you? Oh, this motherfucker don't want to give me that change. Oh, look at her. Let me take a knee. You are a true king. Queen for some of y'all. Please, sir, can I have some more? Here I am. Bye, bitch. There's a lot of poses in these characters. I don't know what the hell that one is. Excited than a motherfucker. He was excited than a motherfucker. Clap for me. What the fuck? I'm not feeling that pose. I don't know what the hell's up with that one. Now she's starting to move outside of my screen. Like she moved into the camera. Why do they do that? Wait, bitch. Wait. Oh, I pray for your safety. You don't understand. You gonna get your ass popped up. There's so many poses in this game. I'm not gonna go through all of them. Let's see what she got. She's got the combat pose. And she just looks badass. Like, look at her. I'm bored. You bored? There's a lot of poses, and the really good thing is that you could actually create customized poses if you want to. So that's really cool. Let's take a look at all the different hairs that she has. So your right mouse button allows you to actually rotate the character in a 360-degree axis. You can actually move up, down to get a different looks at the character too. So let's take a look at some of the hairstyles that's inside here. Ooh, I like that one. Not 100% fan of that one. Just looks so blasé. Now she look like I can make her a Konichi. Akatsuki. Oh, that's that dope shit right there. They said they gonna make her look like Kylie Jenner. She started cornrows, people. Oh, I like that one. I like that hairstyle. I don't like that one. What the fuck is that? It looks like a little girl cut or something. These some cool hairstyles. No. What's this? Ooh. I like that one. Not my favorite, but I like that one. I do like that one. Let's go with the one that I really like. Where is it? No, it wasn't that one. This one. There you go. There you go. I like that layered look. And the really freaking cool part about that is that you can tell how layered the hair is. So let's take a look at the shape of the hair and so forth like that. There's a lot of things that you can do. Now, I didn't play with the hair on the female models during the CBT, and I'm hoping that I have my characters created before CBT launch. I spent a lot of time in character creation in CBT because that's what I was most interested about. I actually want to spend a lot of time in the gameplay, especially exploring not necessarily trade systems and so forth like that, but exploring the node system and the grind. And I want to try to traverse as much of the world as I can. Not necessarily do quests. I don't really care about the quest, especially knowing that the quest doesn't involve anything there. But I want to spend a lot of time. I want to spend a lot of time with the grinding for kills. So you can see, like, this is a little bit different than the male pattern. Like when we were creating hairs and males, we didn't have this much control. But you can see that I'm able to adjust for hair length and volume. It looks like if you could, if I don't know if you guys can, how well you'll be able to see this in the video, but you can notice that as I'm playing with different portions of the hair along this axis, I think that's the y-axis, right? I might be fucking wrong. You can see that I'm playing with different axis points, and it's allowing me to change length and volume of the hair. Let's see if I select a little bit further down. Yeah, so and you can see that there's a shit ton of detail here. Like it's well, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 points of access on just hair alone with each individual one. Oh my god, that's a lot of stuff. And you're changing volumes in different sides. So then we also have the, I'm gonna assume this is x-axis. And now you can see, like, I'm changing length of hair in certain spots. And the really cool part about this is that that's going to allow you for there's going to be a lot of permutations there for hair designs. That's crazy, because if I can change individual given cut layers like this, like you see how I'm doing that? Like, all I'm doing is changing the points and I'm moving it, you know, whichever direction I want to increase volume, decrease volume, change position, and so forth. And now keep in mind that the hair does move with the wind and stuff like that, so that's a lot of physics that's going on in the game. There's a lot of physics going on in this game. Like, I think one of the comments I was in Facebook the other day, and I was on the Black Desert Online, and we were talking about the PvPK system, and one of the people were asking, you know, when this game is coming to when was this game coming to the consoles and so forth like that, and they were hope. To be honest with you, I don't think that this game could handle consoles, and I don't think the consoles could handle this game. Oh, look at that. So we can even change length by just design here, length by design there, and it looks pretty while it's rendering. That's the really fucking crazy part, is like when you're actually, as it's going through and is rendering, that like, you know, shortening up the hair, that looks pretty, because you can actually slide, scale, and adjust and see where it's going. That's pretty. I like that. You also have the ability to change your curl level and your straight level. So this is kind of weird in a little bit, because like, as you change this, you get like a frizzy to non-frizzy look going on with the hair in some parts. Like, well, it did for the men, maybe not for the females. I guess maybe they're like, you know, ain't no female gonna want no frizzy ass shit like that. But it had a really weird frizz to it when I did it with the man. But that actually looks good. I like the hairstyle the way it was. I'm pretty sure ladies are gonna sit there, and female players are gonna take their time with that quite a bit, and any male obviously that's gonna want to play with hair colors and so forth like that. Oh, that is dope. I like that. Ooh, that's the shit right there. I like that one. Like, the funny thing is that these hair colors are amazing. Like, and I'm pretty sure that there are, I can't imagine for the life of me that the cash shop that we're gonna have is not gonna include more cosmetic colors and things like that to associate. I don't know why I like that color right there. You can turn on and off the shine of the hair color as well. That is definitely something you're definitely gonna want to play with, and I would use the environment in order to do it, because like, I created one character and I didn't do nothing with the shine. It was like a warrior, it was one of the warriors, and it just ended up looking terrible, like really terrible. You can also what do you call it? What do you females call that shit? I don't know what you guys call it. Like, when you highlight your ends, is that what it is? Yeah, you can do highlights to your ends and stuff like that. And you could also change the surface area for how much of the ends that you want to highlight. So like, let's see we go white, and then we change those, right? We can do those, and you can change the colors of your ends as well. That's cool. And then we have the hair over here. You can put dyes throughout the hair as well. And you see I have got black dye going on, and so this one actually shows it better. I actually like the black dye throughout, but you can actually turn off the face from her trying to follow the camera. Like, if you notice, she's actually following the mouse cursor around the screen. You can turn that off, so that way she stops. She'll stop looking at it. Is pretty much what it is. But if you look at the dye, if you look at the top of her hair, and then you scroll down on the area here, you can see the darkness coming off her hair, the area that it's affecting coming off. I really like that. I think that's gonna, like, that looks cool. I like that. I don't know, guys. This might be the first ever game that I actually play a female sorceress, unless a female character. 'Cause I am interested in the gameplay for that character, but overall, I'm not interested in playing a female character, I think is what it is. So that's hair. You can see that while I'm showing you basics to it of what you can do for customize, there is quite a bit to customization there. I'm gonna go into voice, and I'm gonna get into face and body last, just because.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get into the face and body last, because those have some tremendous amounts of, like, this video is gonna be a little long, but they have some tremendous features. So with the voice, there's only like a voice card there, but you can increase and decrease the size of the depth, the bass in the voice. So like if I go deep, you can hear it's deep, and if I go, it's definitely it's smaller, like more kid-like. And if I go somewhere in the middle, you can actually tell the ranges here. Like there's definitely inflection, and that's what I like. There's a lot of variance. You know what I mean? Like there's a good degree of deviation in the character designs here in this game. So let's take a look at the face. Alright, so this is the face that we have right now, and I kind of like that face. I don't want to change it. So that clicking the view up here is what's, sorry, I should have told you guys. That's what's going to take away her from following the camera. Since we're working on the face right now, I don't want her following the camera because it gets kind of annoying when you're trying to do that. And one thing that you guys might want to consider is that instead of you don't want to have like the hair in the way, so that way it like pretty much, how you say, it's like the hair will get in your way of your character design. So you might want to turn the hair off instead of, you know, trying to do it. So like you see, I can raise the hair up if I wanted to, so that way I can now work on the face design. And you're going to want to do that because it's a cool feature, because it could get in the way, or just make your character bald until you get to the point where you know what you want to do with the face. So this is the face type that's selected right now down on the bottom, and then you can see that we have different face types that go, and they are oh so subtle, right? Which is, when I was creating the character, I was like, wow, that's really fucking subtle, and I was thinking there's not very much deviation there. I was thinking there wasn't going to be very much deviation there, and it was kind of disappointing at first. But then I started going down more and was like, wow. So let's take a look at some of these. So let's look at the skin tones and so forth inside the game. So I want to show you guys this because, look, I know that this is an issue, especially when players play Korean-based MMOs, especially, is that there tends to be, or at least in the past, there tended to be this thing where it was just, the games were completely whitewashed. You know, trying to get character deviations outside of, you know, just a Caucasian look was really, really difficult. But I wanted to show you guys this for all of you ethnic players, right? For all my brown skin people. You can tell that there are great deviations in color here. Like, I mean, you know, I don't think that you're gonna make a character blue ball black or whatever. You know, nobody's gonna look Namibian in here, but you can make them. You can get those colors that you want in order to properly reflect what you feel your skin tone is. That's like, there is a lot of skin tone depth, in my opinion. I like the variation. I like the degrees. Keep in mind, the shine is going to be something that you want to play with. Like, you can see, like, it gets this really wet look, right? Like, this bitch is juicy. She's just wet. I turned mine down all the way to 100 because you're going to get a wet look when it's raining and stuff like that anyways. But when it's the sun beaming down on you and stuff like that, it has a very unrealistic look to it. So I took mine off. Face shapes. So now we're playing here with a number of different axes, and I want you to pay attention down here where we see symmetrical and asymmetrical parts. So if we want to, we can have these adjust multiple layers to her face if we wanted to. Like, so once one of them is selected, then you can come over here and take a look. We'll use I'm not going to go too in depth with what we're going to change here in certain things, but you can take a look at changing some of these scales on the horizontal look and so forth, and it doesn't look like anything's changing to you. So let's turn her to the side, and we can then see. You can see now I'm giving her a unicorn head. I can decrease the size, so forth, and as I move around with the mouse, I'm just kind of playing with the mouse features, you notice that it's kind of changing her face structure a little bit. Her forehead is getting changed. And I think that what was reported is 32 points along the face of change that you can do, right? But here goes the thing to that, is that you can turn off the asymmetrical look of it. Because like, say like for instance, if I came down here to her cheeks, for instance, and I wanted to change the cheeks. So then I click on that area and I start changing the cheeks. If you look to the left and you look to the right on her face, I know it's kind of hard to see on her left side, or what would be the right side of the left side of the screen. You're not noticing necessarily the change happening so much, but it's symmetrical, right? So what I do to one side of her face I do to the other. Now, say you don't want to do that and you want to go for the Quasimodo look, and maybe you want him to look like Matt Mitrione after his last fight, and you want to increase the size of maybe something on his eyes right here because you want to make some ugliness to the character, then you can do that. It's really possible. For instance, the Berserker, I made him look more human than he does. The Berserkers, they really look like fucking wolves, and they do change. They have this wolf form that they go to, so they change. And you notice that you also have the different axes to play with. Now it says vertical, horizontal, and so forth like that. All those things, you can change what they're changing as well. So if you notice, there's great degree of flexibility. This is going to change the size and the scaling of it. And if you took off the symmetrical look, you'll notice that now when I play with her cheek, it's only gonna, well, let's go to this one so you can see more of it. It's only gonna do one side, all right? The other side is the way it is. So if you wanted to create any deformities or imperfections in your characters, then you could do that. You can also take off the adjustable parts as well if you wanted to. The adjustable points. I like the I don't know, like, it's so much depth and detail. I literally am so happy that they decided, let me turn off that eye. I'm so happy that they decided that they were going to release the standalone character creator, and I'm praying that everything goes smoothly so that way we can export and load designs for our characters, because I'm not even exaggerating. So now we have like eye makeup. This is makeup color, which I know females are going to be want to do about anybody that, I keep saying females, and I apologize to females, but I literally mean anybody that's going to be playing the female character races. I know there's a lot of men that play female characters too. We can change the eyebrows, we can change blush, we can change lips. I'm going to give you guys just a brief look because it's pretty much the same as this. We can change the density, the reflection, the shine, and the area for all of those different types as well. It gets really, really in depth. So like you can see, like if you are one of those females that likes to color blend your makeups and stuff like that, like, yo, I watched this video the other day. It was like on Facebook, and it was like some, I don't know, Jersey sounding female. I don't know, I'm from New York, so I sometimes I might have an accent, or my family always makes fun of me and tell me I don't anymore. And she was explaining makeup and stuff. Like, I was like, really? Just do that much stuff to their fucking face? I didn't realize how much of a skill that was. I have friends who are makeup artists and stuff like that, but I just figured that was just for like movies and stuff like that. Not that it was, chicks did that on a normal, but yeah. So if you notice, you can do different things here with your density, with your areas and so forth, and you can increase your shines and everything like that on your makeups and everything like that. You can do that with your lip glosses and all that stuff. My female's starting to look ugly. She's starting to look like a clown. But maybe I can make a Margot Robbie and stuff like that, or whatever. Like, that's the level of detail that there is in this game. It's like, I really do feel like if I wanted to, I could probably replicate or recreate artistically a person from the real world, like I'm not operating in a real world. I could probably recreate a character in this game in order to reflect someone in the real world. If I wanted to create the Joker, I could do that. If I wanted to create Charlize Theron, there's so many points of articulation inside this game, so many points of change, deviations, that you could do that. So that's for the then we have like our eyes. And our eyes are interesting because we can change the shapes of our pupils and our you know, our pupils or whatever. And it was kind of cute because when I was looking at it, I was like, you know what, I probably wouldn't do that, but like if they added in how you say, if they added in more pupil designs reminiscent of Sharagons and things like that, I was like, yeah, I could see doing that then. You know, I could see that's totally possible. But then you can also change your iris as well, which is just crazy to me that you can change that as well. Like, you can change the pupil, you can change the iris, you can change the middle of it and how it looks. You can even change the lens. That's crazy, right? So you can change all the points on not only just your character's face, their hair points, and where layers are getting more layered, where layers are getting more volume or less volume. You can also change the deviation in eyes and stuff like that alone. Now, is this probably too much, too little? That's for you to debate. Like, I mean, I think that is going to create a lot of variation in the game, which is, to me, is exciting. This much immersion is only going to make a player want to be more immersed in the world and care more about the characters that they're creating and how they look. That's all I can imagine. So again, you can see that you can change your eyelashes, your eye line, the bottom line, and so forth like that. You're changing so much, getting so many degrees of deviation. It is quite a bit. So then we have tattoos that we could apply to the face and so forth like that. Now, just because the tattoo appears like this doesn't mean that the tattoo is stuck to there. You can also change the density of it. You could invert the tattoo so that way it looks like, you know, maybe a birthmark or something you want to create. You can invert the tattoo if that's what you choose to do. You can change the colors of it. You can move it around on the screen from where it is. So maybe that's not where you want it, then you could actually move that. It's not locked into where it needs to be or where it is. You can actually move those. And there's quite a bit that goes on that's in there too. Now, each of these have their own little plays and mechanics, so you're gonna have to figure those out and how they play into what it is that you want to do. But I can only imagine that we're gonna get more tattoos and things like that later on. Like, the one thing is tattoos, the body tattoos are pretty cool, so we'll get to those in a minute. Now, suppose you wanted to make some wrinkles and stuff like that, right? If you want to, you can actually add layers and wrinkles. And the things that I like about these layers and wrinkles is that they actually do look like layers and wrinkles. They don't look fake, I guess is what it is. They don't look layered on top of there, the wrinkles. The wrinkles actually look like they have, let me see if I can scroll into her face here a little bit so that way you guys can see it. This is about as far as I can get. But if you look at the wrinkles as they formed around her mouth, you can see there's little wrinkles that forms around the lips. There's crinkles that form around the nose creases and create the laugh lines and so forth like that. Same thing with the forehead, right? If I increase these, you can see that there's crinkles that ripple down and so forth like that on her face. Her eyes start to get those crowed feet look and so forth like that, right? So now she's starting to look layered and old, and I have degrees of those as well, so they're really good. I like that. I like those a lot. Like I said, there's a high degree of creation here. Now, this, be careful when you do this. These are your standby expressions, right? And it gives you a warning and tells you about those, right? Your character in standby will look like this. Even when they're running around and stuff like this right here, right? This is how they're gonna look. If you give them these expressions that they have down here, that's how they're gonna look, right? That is literally how they are going to look. So bear that in mind, that you don't just create these expressions. Now, these also have weight to them, is what they call it in here, which is basically like degrees is what it is. So like you can see, like she's got this bite lip, like she's trying to look cute or whatever. I can change the degree of that and go all the way back down to her face. See that? 100%. Back down to her normal standard face, right? So you don't have to, you can go into degrees of her separation or whatever. So like if I chose her to have that look over here, then I can choose the weight and go up and like, I want her to be angry. But I'm just gonna leave. I'm gonna suggest right now that if you guys play with that, be happy with it, because you can't change it once it's there. Once it's there, that's how your character's gonna run around looking. Like I created a warrior and he had the mean face on, so I thought that just meant that like when he was, like it says standby expression, so I thought that meant that when I was idling, that's the expression my character would take. No, that was the expression that he always had. So Keep that in mind. Because like, see, it even says here, right? It says up in the top of the screen, edits the facial expression shown while you're in standby. The modified expression will not be applied to actions other than standby. Maybe something was wrong with it, but that was literally how my fucking character was all the time. So those are facial expressions, right? Okay, so and once we leave, it gives me my hairstyle back, and so that way it's out of my face was while I was doing it. Now, all right. So now you can see that your character body model. Now I'm going to be honest with you guys right here a little bit, is that the character body models, they definitely have a degree of variation. However, we've noticed with like the character models for the male wizard, body representation of how the character is supposed to look is pretty much body representations of how the characters look. So when we get to deviations of this, I think that there's a lot less to be had, I guess is the way that's the best way for me to say it, is there are lesser degrees of deviation, in my opinion, to the body. So like, for instance, your berserker, they imagine to look a certain way, and your berserker, I guess, is supposed to have like a woven-like feature or, you know, disposition to his body. You can operate within degrees of that for the body, but you can't really change it. Like, I'm not gonna make him not have this hunched over look as if though he's snarling and coming forward to me. Like, he literally looks like a wolf standing on two legs. I can't do much in order to change that. Same thing with the body of the male wizard. I couldn't do very much in order to change that very frail looking body structure that he had. It was frail. He was old. Now, can you change things? Yes, you can. You can increase certain sizes and depths and things like that within degrees. However, you can't, you're not going to create too much deviation inside your character model here. It's definitely limits to it. If you're a sorceress, you're going to look a certain way. You're a male, you're going to look a certain way. So you can see I'm playing around with little things here that are allowing me to change my female a little bit more than what I guess, you know, you would have. Like, if I want to make her a little bit shorter, then I can make her a little bit shorter. You know, if I want to tighten things up, then I could do that. If I wanted to make her a little bit taller, then I could do that. You know, there's things that you can change, but again, there are only but so many deviations. Now, my belief is that the reason for that is that the gear that you wear probably has to operate within that deviation as well, meaning once you equip something that's part of the berserker class, it needs to look a certain way. There's only but so much you can do. Imagine if I gave you the ability in here to change your body type to anything you want to. So I wanted to make her a long armed, you know, individual. Now when you go in there for scripting that, you're probably going to have to get into some real big standards of deviation for gear sets and how those things actually apply to certain body parts when they do that. So that is my assumption. I don't know this to be true, but I believe that to be true. Let's reset all. I actually like the way her body type looked just fine the way it was, and you guys notice that I can increase breast size and so forth like that. I can increase the arm length and arm size. I don't necessarily know that you're going to be making a really robust or rotund sorceress, but it's possible. Now, you also notice that I can do certain muscle definitions. It gets a little comical, to be honest with you. Like, when you go to the extreme of the muscle definitions, look at that. It kind of gets a little extreme with the muscles. Like, I mean, she looks like she's been Paula Nordining it up forever, and I doubt that we're gonna have too many characters in game that run around there looking like that. And when you turn the sheen on or whatever for your character, kind of looks, you know, really weird. But you get your degree of musculature. Tattoos. You can do quite a bit with tattoos in the game. I love some of the tattoo designs. I'm going to imagine, for all imagination purposes, is that we're going to get a lot of these in the cosmetic shops which I have no problem with. I think that's great when they add things like that to the cosmetic shop. You know, things that people use to distinguish their characters just a little bit from other characters, if that's what they want to. Especially, I mean, you're gonna have a degree of facial distinguishing things going on. If you wanted to, you could add tattoo layers, and I think those things are really good. Cosmetics and stuff like that. I don't see a problem with those. What else is here to do? Oh, poses. So if you are so inclined, and I'm going to imagine that this is going to be for a lot of the 3D illustrators and character model guys out there, you can create your own poses. Yes, you can. You can create your own poses. Which is really interesting because I don't know how many of you have played with Dash 3D or anything like that, but that's literally pretty much what you're doing. You're creating your own poses for your character, and you can tell like the character moves and so forth like that. That's, to me, that's amazing that they gave you that much degree of wiggle room to play with the character. I was pretty shocked by that, to be perfectly honest with you. I was shocked by that. That's a great degree of to be able to play that much with your character poses. But so yeah, so we've got our hair. So we went over our hair, our face, our body, and then our voices as well. Your weather features. We've seen your did we do character actions? Oh, you know what we did? We did character poses that were already there. I don't think the outfits or the clothes were in the game. So then let's take a look at the Sorceress's clothes, because obviously everybody's going to be interested in that, right? So we've got your default design right here. We've got more designs, and so here goes the thing that I liked. I did look through the designs for the characters, and to be honest with you, I want to point out something that I really did like about the outfit designs inside this game, as opposed to a lot of Korean models that we typically play, is that look at the character model, the character clothing design. This is a Sorceress, which is probably going to arguably be the most sexually overt looking character they have, but if you look at the character designs, nothing is overtly sexual. They all look like clothes, they all look like clothes that you could actually see a character wearing, that's functional and have appeal to them. Now, by default, the helmet is turned off, so if you want to, you can actually view the helmet. For them, is just this choker, I believe. I don't think the Sorceress actually has any headgear that they actually wear. I think they just have chokers. Yeah, so it's just necklaces that they have. But as you guys can see, this is probably my favorite outfit. Where is it? I like that look a lot. She looks like a gypsy to me. As you can see, there's a lot here, man. There is a lot of depth for your character. There is quite a bit of depth here. There's quite a bit of depth. So then if you have any designs and so forth like that that you decide that you want to actually save, you can actually save the designs here, and you create save files for those. Supposedly we are going to have the option to actually load up those designs, which is going to be great. In my opinion, it's pretty good for the game overall, because then you have players with pre-created characters and people are able to get right in, because let's be honest, I've rambled on now for probably somewhat close to an hour. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I did in making it. There's a lot here. I'm going to try to get some video loaded for the other female character designs as well. Hopefully what I would like to do is I would like to get my wife to just come in here and create a female character, so that way she can post the videos from a female's perspective. That way she can see what you like. Let's see if I can convince her to do that. But yeah, there's a lot here for that. The Sorceress is the one female character class, in my opinion, that I'm really kind of interested to actually, go for. Now, keep in mind that there is a naming policy in the game, and I wanted to point this out to you guys again for those of the females that are joining on watching this. You have a family name, and then you have a character name. So your family name is tied to all your characters, and there's something interesting about the system that I didn't realize until probably towards the end of the last CBT. All your characters that you create are all tied together underneath a family. means quite a bit in the game. That means that you are sharing everything. You can switch in and out of characters on the fly, and you could have a character that's in one part of the area and you can have a character that's in another part of the area, and you can be in the game playing and switch back and forth between those characters. That also means, however, that you can share items between characters. Not however, but that does mean that you can share items between characters. So say I have a necklace or something that I've acquired from one character while I've been running around as my berserker. I can share that item from my berserker with my character that is a warrior or something like that, and I can equip those items. Everything in there is shareable, just living spaces and so forth. It's not like you have instance versions of characters where the female sorceress that I create doesn't interact with the male wizard that I create. You have the ability to actually, it is actually a family. That's the best way to say it. So keep that in mind when you guys create the characters. There's a lot of sharing going on there. So that was the female sorceress. This video's been a little bit long, but I hope you guys enjoyed it overall. And until next time, we'll see if we can create some more female characters. Have fun.